G'day Internet, Max right here, and we have one of our favorite guests on this channel here, Juan Villaverde. Juan, thanks so much for joining us.
Max, good to see you, my friend. Thank you for having me.
So congratulations to you. I think we had a little bit of a disagreement last time. I thought it was looking ready to break out, and you were like, "Nah, I think you're getting a bit ahead of the game there, Max. Let's slow it down." And you were correct. We pulled back a little bit. Turned out nice for you. Exactly what you said was going to happen. Happened. Well played. I also told you guys at home, don't listen to me. I'm a long-term investor. Juan is the short-term trader. You should always take short-term advice off Juan, definitely. So, yeah, A, congratulations. B, why don't you just catch us up a little bit with what's been happening, talk a little bit about narratives and things, talk about what's going to happen, and then turn it over to some of your predictions.
All right, awesome. So in terms of what has happened is my thesis last time we spoke was slow summer. We were talking about this before we started recording, and slow summer it seems to be. So everything is proceeding on track. Last time we spoke was about a month ago, so I think it was early June. Back then, Bitcoin was testing the top end of the range, which I'll show in a minute, around 70K. So if it was gonna be a slow summer, Bitcoin had to fall back down to the middle, maybe the bottom end of the range. And that's how we are recording this. Bitcoin is testing 60K for like the third, fourth, fifth consecutive time in the last couple of weeks. So it's testing that bottom end of the range, exactly what you would expect if Bitcoin is going to be trapped in this range between about, I'm going to try to be more specific, between 58K on the lower end and about 74K on the higher end of that range. And so, yeah, range bound as far as the eye can see is what I'm seeing. And I hate to bring those news. I think last time we spoke, I said, listen, I wanted to break out too. And if I look at the chart pattern, yeah, it looks like a breakout is imminent because it is testing that high end of the range. But Bitcoin has been crypto markets have been in the habit of having these very slow summers for the past 5 years or so. Even though there's some people saying, yeah, we may see some action in July. That's true. We may see some action in July, but that will be the tail end of July. It will be late July, not early July. So we're looking at another 3 to 4 weeks of slow price action before the markets wake up. And that's going to feel like watching grass grow or paint dry. Pick your favorite analogy. As a trader, I hate these ranges. They're super boring. They're super slow. I did hedge my position when we were back at 60K, 68K to be precise. I hedged about 60% of my portfolio. I bought some BTC denominated puts. The only reason I do that is I'm not bearish. I'm just trying to accumulate on the way down if I do see some downside. And I am pleased to say that I have a bit more Bitcoin today than last time we spoke. Mainly because when the market is range bound and everybody's anticipating a breakout, the calls, like the way out of the money calls, I'm talking 100,000 plus calls, they tend to be really, really expensive. And if you don't think the market is going to break out anytime soon, you can sell those and make some change, make a pretty penny on those. And yeah, I've made quite a bit on those. So that's good. I'm about to close out those positions.
So you've been selling calls, is that what you said?
Now I sold calls and I bought puts. I did both.
Gotcha.
So the puts that I bought haven't actually made me that much money, but the calls that I sold, wow. Yeah, I mean, they got their premiums sucked out of them as soon as Bitcoin started going down to 60K. And it's not coming back. Like the premium on those calls is not coming back because we're running out of time. These are August calls at 100, 120, 150K. It was free money. So I just took it.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, how about you share your screen and share with
Sure.
us exactly what you think is going to happen here over the next couple of months?
All right. So I have a few arrows here so that you can see exactly what I think is going to happen. And no, it doesn't have to do exactly this. I can be wrong, market, yada, yada, yada. But here's what I'm expecting. So you see that Bitcoin made this high in March. Then it made a lower high. These are 80-day cycles or 60 days. I've seen some people on the socials talk about a 60-day cycle. Honestly, when I do my work, it's about 78 days on average, but whatever. It's a medium-term cycle, and it lasts a few months. That's the main takeaway. It made a lower high on this same cycle. This was late May, May 20 through early June. And you can see I drew this trend line here to connect those two tops. So it made a lower high. That's a key thing here. It made a lower high, and what I'm expecting is another one of these medium-term cycle lasting a couple of months also. And I think that new cycle started on last Monday of last week, so June 24. So from June 24, I expect markets to rally for about a month into a high in mid-July, and then I think markets will fall into a mid-August, mid to late August low to end this consolidation pattern. And I do think we're going to see another lower high. I think it makes another lower high. So we'll have 3 consecutive lower highs, and we're bouncing off of that lower end of the range. About it's 60K, but the real price on a daily closing basis is 58 and change. So I think it bounces right off 58 and change. Again, it may exceed it slightly on an intraday basis, but I don't think it's going to close below it, which would be pretty bad. And then from mid-August on, we slowly, and I emphasize slowly, climb out of that range in a series of 20-day cycles, which is the short-term cycle that I track on my model. And then it's off to the races in Q4. So I'm thinking explosive Q4, slow Q3, maybe accelerates. It accelerates toward the end of Q3. I'm talking late August, early September. We may see some acceleration to the upside. But right here now in the thick of summer, no, I think this thing is dead, at least for now. I just don't see it waking up. And the reason, and we can talk about it, there's, in my opinion, a lot of positive catalysts. The market is not picking up on a single one of them. So what does that tell you? Nobody cares. There's supposed to be an Ether spot ETF approved for trading next week. It was supposed to be this week. Apparently it's coming next week. Market doesn't care. Like Ethereum has not moved at all. And there's a lot of people who are taking it as a near certainty. Oh, as soon as the ETF is approved, bam, it's a knee-jerk reaction higher. Right, but everybody knows that. It's a near certainty, and yet the market doesn't care. That's not what we saw with the spot Bitcoin ETF. When the ETF became a certainty, it was just a matter of weeks or months, whatever. Big, spectacular rally started, and that was the Q4 2023, Q1 2024 rally. It was a spectacular 6-month rally, pretty much triggered by rumors, confirmation, and then inflows into the spot Bitcoin ETF. We're seeing a similar story play out in the real world with Ethereum. So far, all we saw was a spike, about a 20% spike on a single day. I think it was a Monday. It was mid to late May. The price of Ethereum spiked, topped out immediately, started going down. So I do see, because I trade a lot of derivatives, I keep saying this, and on the options markets, I do see that there's a lot of positioning for a surge in the price of Ethereum in the next few months. I think it might happen just as the whole crypto market turns around and begins to go higher. But like right here and now in July, first half of July, is it going to act as a catalyst to propel the market higher? No, I don't see it. I just don't see it. That market is too slow.
Gotcha. All right. Well, you put yourself on the line here for sure. I mean, that is a very, very specific model and prediction that you've got there. You got a whole bunch of ups and downs and sideways. So well played for being so precise. We'll find out how accurate you are, but you've had a pretty stellar record. I've been having on this channel for I think over 2 years now, and every single time, I don't think you've ever made one gigantic blunder. I think maybe a few calls maybe not as precise as we had hoped, but I don't think you've ever had a giant blunder. So that's awesome. So thank you very much for such a precise prediction. We'll see how that goes. Let's see. Is there anything else we need to know about in terms of the altcoin market or anything else like that?
In terms of the altcoin market, I'm thinking that one of the catalysts for this bull market is going to be speculation around rumors around other spot ETFs being approved by the SEC. And I think I wrote back a note to my clients a couple of months back saying, hey, this could be one of the catalysts for this bull market. There's always a few catalysts playing in the background. The last bull market, it was mostly just money printing. Money printer go burr, COVID, free money, whatever. There was a few more narratives going around, NFTs, DeFi summer. I love DeFi, so I was very happy to see that. This time around, I'm thinking it may be, who's going to be the next crypto asset to get a spot ETF? Now, remember, Max, like years ago, in 2016, 17, it was the Coinbase effect. There was a thing called the Coinbase effect. Who's going to get listed on Coinbase? And whatever got listed there pumped on the day of the listing and actually in anticipation of it. Coinbase effect is gone, obviously, but now there's the ETF effect. I think the ETF is going to be a thing. I really do. The ETFs don't have to be approved. Just filing an application by one of the big issuers, I think will do the trick. We saw that on Solana last week. VanEck is testing the grounds for potential Solana ETF. I don't think we're going to see it this year, but it didn't stop the price from rallying about 10%. But like I said, it faded immediately. I can show you the chart of Solana, actually. Let me just go there. Let me show you a chart of Solana. So this was last week. Sorry, apologize for the lines. I draw a lot of lines. But here's what I need you to focus on. It's we have the same low we had on Bitcoin, June 24. Big rally here on speculation, on the rumors, and then confirmation that yes, indeed, one of the big issuers of ETFs wants to get a Solana ETF through the door. I think eventually they do. That's more of a 2025 story. But once the market gets back on solid footing, or once the animal spirits return to crypto, these types of applications, I think, will do wonders, not just for the specific altcoin being mentioned, but actually for the whole market, especially the altcoin market as a whole. Speaking of which, I am watching the altcoins a lot because I think that leading altcoins like Solana have already made multiple attempts at this level here. There is, I'm going to talk dates, not prices, but you see this strong support, strong bounce off of the 120 level on April 13, another bounce in early May, and another bounce recently. And this looks more clear to me that a cycle low took place on June 24. That's partly why I'm saying I think Bitcoin made a low, because in this bull market, like it or not, the altcoins have been, some altcoins have been leading Bitcoin. So they have topped out after Bitcoin, and they usually bottom out before it. So yeah, I'm watching the likes of Solana, Ren. There is a few others. I call them leading altcoins, and they're leading indicators to what the rest of the market is going to do. So looking constructive here. However, just like Bitcoin, I don't think Solana or any other altcoin is on any hurry to go anywhere for the next few months. My forecast for Sol, and this goes for most altcoins, look like this, so I don't have to go through them. Big rally into mid-July, big sell-off into August. We may see a higher low as opposed to Bitcoin on the altcoins. We have seen that before, by the way, and then a slow grind to climb out of this range. So same exact thing.
Awesome, Juan. Thank you so much for the update. Like I said, your advice is always golden and appreciated here. So thanks so much. And guys, don't forget to hit the like, subscribe button, and we'll see you soon.